Now, we've been telling you the tragic stories of people who can't get their unemployment insurance, but investigative reporter David Goldstein got the inside information showing plenty of money going to the hands of people who may be scamming the system.
California has paid out billions of dollars in unemployment benefits to people affected by COVID. And while some have been complaining they haven't been getting their fair share, we obtained inside information which calls into question others who are getting paid and perhaps shouldn't. We found someone who says they were born in 2007, collecting California unemployment insurance at the age of 13. Another person, 91 years old, according to their date of birth of 1929. They must be in great shape, claiming to be an unemployed bricklayer, asking that the unemployment check be mailed to an address in Cleveland. We found others going to Fort Myers, Florida, Detroit, Michigan, even the Philippines, all asking for California unemployment.
If you're a scammer, that's kind of the perfect way to scam the system.
John Koss is an anti-fraud expert. It's not illegal to collect California unemployment if you're out of state, as long as you were working in California. But he says it should be a red flag for state investigators.
Remember, to collect unemployment insurance, you need to be able and available to work. You also need to show that you are actually applying for other jobs while this is occurring. It's unlikely that, in the Philippines that's taking place, but I guess there could be an exception.
EDD sources who wanted to show taxpayer money maybe going to places it shouldn't shared these computer screenshots of people collecting unemployment insurance. There are no names. All say they're unemployed as a direct result of COVID-19. We have no idea if these are cases of identity theft. We found some got paid even though they didn't provide a driver's license or proper ID that's needed. Most have one thing in common: they all claim to be self-employed. In the past, self-employed people weren't eligible for unemployment, but under pandemic unemployment assistance backed by the feds, they are now. It makes it hard to verify wages. This person claims to have made $123,000 a year as a self-employed barber. They provided no driver's license and a Detroit address. They collected the maximum, $1,050 a week, including the then $600 federal stimulus.
Those lack of driver's license or state ID card should have been followed up on almost immediately.
William Cressy is a professor at Governor State University in Illinois, known as Professor Fraud.
The fact that they just let it go by as self-employed without checking further seems rather negligent.
The self-employed barber collected for weeks and weeks until payments were finally stopped. How many letters have you gotten?
Over the course of 3 weeks, maybe about 20 to 25.
Daryl Smith is one of many people who are getting these EDD letters sent to their house with names of people who don't live there.
The first few weeks, I would send them back through the mail person. I would write, "does not live here," and just what any person would do. This is a mistake. Send it back.
We ran the names with sources and found someone who we traced to Oklahoma, collecting $450 a week since February. We have no way of knowing if it's a case of identity theft, but Smith worries.
It's discouraging. I'm hoping that nothing happens to me or comes from this, that the government thinks I had a part to do with it, when I had nothing to do with it.
EDD says fraud attempts have increased during the pandemic. They say their investigative team is working closely with local, state, and federal partners to expose, stop, and hold offenders accountable. But with $77 billion of benefits already paid out and more on the way, our sources say the state continues paying money to people who are gaming the system.
It would be almost impossible for them to check today, maybe a few months from now, maybe 6 months from now. But if it's a stolen identity and I'm saying I'm unemployed, you're never going to get that money back.
After reports of fraud, the EDD has stepped up its enforcement. And as of now, the program that's paying benefits to the self-employed is expected to expire by the end of the year. I'm David Goldstein, CBS 2 News.